gorilla stomping in a zoo. Check the vocals, animals gather right.
Well, hello again everybody, and welcome back for another episode of the Chicken Coop build series, where we're winding down now in the list of tasks that we have to do to bring this to completion. So today we're going to jump right in and start putting some trim on. So we're going to trim out the windows, trim out the main door, get the windows and doors hung, and so on and so forth. See how much stuff we can actually get finished today. Now there's one thing that I kind of alluded to last video, and it's hopefully, if all goes to plan, should help us a lot today. So today's video, no, I'm not going to say it's sponsored or anything like that. I wouldn't be so lucky, but you know, anyone wants to sponsor me, just you know, hit me up. But no, we got a tool that's really going to help this job if all goes to plan, like I say. Brand new DeWalt 18 gauge pneumatic brad nailer. Alright, so I got an air compressor there in the corner with a cable on a reel, so I'm already set up to be able to use this in the shop. So as far as getting a battery powered one, it just wasn't necessary. Battery power was at least twice the cost, and I don't really use it enough to justify that price. But for a little bit over $100, you can get the pneumatic version, which is also smaller and more, you know, you can be a bit more dexterous with it. And we're going to do an unboxing really to start off this video. Alright, so let's get to it. Let's do the unboxing of this brad nailer, and then we'll move on to putting up some trim and see how it goes. Alright, let's get going. So let me start off by saying that it seems like forever since I did an actual unboxing video for this channel. So we're just going to get right into it. I've already told you what we got here. So we'll get the outside cardboard off. Alright, and then go right into the case. There we go. See, that's nice and small. Oh yeah, that's light. Right, easy to manipulate. I can definitely see the benefit in having a pneumatic versus battery power with that big old driver at the back. Alright, so we got our magazine. We push this button on the back to open up the magazine. That tells us what we can use, 18 gauge. Alright, and we got a little pencil sharpener there. No, not really good for our carpenter pencils, but a regular size pencil would be great. And we got our selector for bump fire or single shots. We're going to be going with single shots. I've never used a nail gun before, so I highly doubt I'm ready enough to be using bump fire. We got a little belt clip for hanging it off your side, and the pneumatic hookup is already in place. Alright, so this is going to be interesting. I'm going to have to figure out how to use this puppy. Hopefully I won't have to use this feature, but up here at the top, if you did happen to get a nail jammed, you pop this up, and that releases the beak of it, we'll say, so you can get your nail out. Alright, and locks down like so. I think that's pretty much all the features. Now as far as the nails go, I got a box of 2-inch 18 gauge brad nails. So I'll get that opened up. And I'll take one slide of those. Take this down. Make sure the head of the nails goes towards the gun, whereas the point of the nail goes towards the tip. Flush it against the left side. There we go, we're locked and ready. I got the compressor line already there on the floor waiting for us. So let's get into the actual job and see how this goes. Hopefully I don't end up with a nail sticking out of my thumb. But you never know. Let's find out. So to get us started, I'm feeling a little bit ambitious. So I figure we'll start with the front door. Definitely risky business, starting off with the front door. It's probably one of the heavier pieces to hang, but the shape that I cut out I think is a bit more uniform than a couple of the windows, so it may actually be the easier one to begin with. Now, what we're using is this 1x2 cedar stock, just cedar trim, and so that is 1.5 inches by 3/4. I don't know why they call things 1x2. We've already been through that before, especially when you're dealing with 1.5 inches here. But what we're going to be doing, get the measurement of the door. We're going to be doing 45-degree angles on each end, doing pretty much a picture frame effect. Then we're going to put the door inside that and then frame directly on the door while it's in place. That's what I'm planning, at least. We'll see how it goes. So what we'll do, we'll get that put aside. I'm going to take a few measurements so I know that if you do a 45, right, your outside of 45 is like that. The top of that 45 is still going to come up to the full height before the other one joins it, right? So we still got that 1.5 inches that we need to add to the top and 1.5 inches that we need to add to the bottom in order to get the full length of board that we need. So the door itself is 43, I'll say 43.5. So 46.5 is the length for the side. Let's double check this one as well. $43.5. All right. So we'll do 46.5 for our first cuts. Make 45-degree angles at both ends of those, and we'll get it tacked up in place. All right. Let's. Or maybe we probably. Yeah. Will we tack it right away? You think? I'm wondering if maybe we make the full frame and then put the whole frame on as one piece. But it might be better to do it on the building. I'll figure that out as I go. I'll do cuts right now for two 46.5 inch pieces with 45s at the ends. So that's our first one made. All right, double check the length of the outer tips. And we're good, right at 46.5. So I'm going to replicate that now on the other piece, and then I'll get right back to you. Now that I have those pieces made, for me personally, just where I'm brand new to a brad nailer, and I'm still wary of it, I respect the new tool. I know that if you shoot a nail into a piece of metal, it can deflect or deform or cause problems, basically. So what I'm going to do, just for my own benefit. You guys, depend on your comfort level, you can do this or not do this. But at every screw that I'm going to be nailing around, I'm just going to make a little mark on the door jamb that there's a screw there. I can erase this later, it's only pencil. But at least I'll know where the screws are so that I'm not obviously shooting into them when I don't have to. And that'll just let me have a better time, more relaxed time in trying this new tool out. Alright, so I've marked all the screws, their locations, and now it's time to get some glue on those pieces. I'll also just real quick take one and do a little test fit. If we do one here, line the corner up at the door. Like so. And that is lovely. Alright, no problems there whatsoever. So I will get some glue on that, and you'll see me firing my first nail gun nail right here with you guys. Alright, so I'll get you guys a little bit of a better angle. I'll get the pneumatic hose hooked up to the nailer, get some glue for this. Am I stalling? Do you think I'm stalling? Maybe a little bit, but yeah, let's get to it. All right, this is it. This is the big moment. I've made it all these years without using a nail gun, and now you're going to see it. All right, we're on. I've used firearms before, but this whole brad nailer bit is a bit new to me. Alright, so we're good here. I'll get my glue. I guess we'll do this side first on the right. Little bead of glue, nothing too crazy with the glue on this piece. I don't want the glue oozing out of my trim. Alright, so I'm going to line this up with the door frame. Being very careful to line this up pretty much perfectly. Some of it I may have to bend a little bit on the way, because these trim pieces are a little bit bendy. Alright, here we go. There's no safety in this thing, is there? I got my screws marked, so I'm going to push in. I like that. Oh, that's like instant satisfaction, isn't it? Ooh, I like it. I am addicted already. Oh my! Yes! Yes! Look at that! Just look at that! Will you look at that? Just look at that. Just look at that. You see that? Just look at that. Wow. That is great. Oh, boys and girls, go get one. Oh, man. Bam. Instant. Just That is so nice. There's no real kickback. It just kind of does its thing. Awesome. I had to test it. If your nose bumper is not up against wood, it won't fire. I had to do it. Had to just, throw another one in there. Why not, right? Alright, that is way too much fun. Alright, we just got to a whole nother level. On to the next piece. So, double checking what side is what. We're going to rock it out like this. Oh my. I'm going to be wondering what else we can build that needs brad nails after this. Definitely. Definitely, definitely. That is so pleasing. It's not often you get that instant satisfaction with a tool. Usually you got to do a bit of finagling with it. Down a little smidge. That's great. Like, what else do you want with it, jam? Come on. There you go. Oh, a little sparky there. I don't know what we hit. Little sparky sparky. Wow. Well, that was great. So now I will measure from top to top. Which is 28 inches on the nose there. And this one is 27 7/8. Alright, so I'm going to go cut a 28 incher and a 27 7/8. And we'll come back and we'll have some more fun with the pneumatic brad nailer. Love it! Alright, just like that, I am back. I think it was the top one was 28, if I recall correctly. Yep, looks good. And the bottom, we'll do that after we do the top. Safety glasses on. Take this down, throw a little bit of glue on it. Get my new favorite tool in my hand. Just like that. I'm actually going to go up a little bit, down a little bit, and then down. There we go. Like, really? Can you do that any faster? I think not. Alright, Alright, on to the next piece. We'll get some glue on this guy. I think I'll put this one on the inside. Oh, it's so pleasing. All right, there we go. Main door framed out just like that. That is wild. Absolutely wild. Now that we have the trim on the outside of the door, we need to trim the door itself to have somewhere to mount the hinges, okay? So all my tools are out here on this side of things now. So I'll take the door out. And I'll begin with the bottom piece. Now this had a snug fit to begin with. So it's going to have a snug fit as well right now. But I've decided what I'm going to do is trim it first and hang it. And then if I find that it's still stiff, I'm going to do that with the door open. And I'll just either sand or plane around. But right now it fits right into the slot. And it almost kind of sticks there on its own. So I want to keep it that way for ease of making the trim. Alright. This piece goes on here. Alright, same story. A little bit of a stickler. We got definite space there between the two. Alright, I want to make sure that that space is maintained. It looks pretty good already, doesn't it? Alright, so we're still going to be trimming all this yet. So next measurement is going to be the inside here, which is 25 inches. But I'm going to back it off, say 1/4 of an inch to leave an 1/8 on either side. I think that should be sufficient. So say 24 3/4. And this is 24 3/4 as well. This is a little bit less. Alright, so I can do the top and bottom. And then I'm going to do these separately, the half door ones. 24 1/2, 24 3/4. I'll cut those and be right back. So just like that, I got the top and bottom pieces cut. And this is just going right into the top of the door. Alright, 3 screws there to avoid. Looks nice, looks nice. Okay, let's do the bottom. Now as far as the middle goes, I want something that covers this gap enough and has enough support when nailed on up here to hook down over the door and keep this one from swinging open, okay? So this is where this comes in. This is a bit of a thicker trim, and I'm going to put that across the middle like so, and it'll only be attached to the upper door. So when the upper door closes, it pushes the bottom door shut, okay? Whereas it'll be attached to the top so the top can open freely. So with that said, I just got to get a measurement across the middle. No 45s required for this one, it's just going to be a straight cut. So again, I'm only looking to cover, I want to cover both, but one is just like a locking mechanism. Okay, just whack a little bit of glue to that. Now I should probably put the glue on the, should I put the glue on the door, you think? There we are. So yeah, we got enough of the bottom door covered. I got down till right here. So now I'll trim the sides. It's going to take 4 separate pieces to do this. So those cuts are done. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Oh, ninja. There we are. Now keep in mind, I'm just assuming that I'm missing the side in there. I would hope that this will, okay, she'll come out when we're done. Okay, now we'll do 2 pieces down below. So now we will fill in the bottom. Again, marking where my screws are. And if you're going to comment that I'm using too many nails, don't even bother. I'm having too much fun. This is way too much fun for me to worry about using too many nails. But now I have seen it in videos that they say when you're brad nailing that the glue is the thing that's supposed to do the most work and the brad nails are for securing it. How much truth there is to that, I don't know. All I know is that a pneumatic brad nailer is a lot of fun. Okay. So next up is the window. To trim that out. I got 4 of my pieces cut. I got the right measurements, but I forgot which one goes where. So the top one is 1 foot exactly. So I'll get one of my 12 inchers. Let's do this one. Some glue on there. Well, that doesn't seem right. It's because it's not. I actually cut it to 12 inches instead of adding on the 3 inches. So all these pieces are 3 inches too short. Back to the cutting board. Learn from my mistake. So take 2 on these. So now we're going to do 15 inches. Take off some of this glue. Alright, that should be enough for that. It's so easy! What do you think? Do you think it's easy? I think it's easy. It takes time, but it's easy. You know what I mean? Alright, we're after going through one cartridge of nails. See the yellow indicator? And I just got no nail with that. Obviously it just fell down. Alright, so I'm going to go get some more nails. And finally, the bottom piece, which hopefully fits into place. And that is the door done and ready for hinges. So what do you think? Should we put the hinges on it now as well? I think so. I'll go get those and we will put them on. The door hinges that I got are just just matte black, 1/4 inch radius, whisper quiet door hinge tested for 1 million open and closes. Alright, so I'm going to find a pair of scissors, open these up and get mounting. As far as the door goes, I think I'm going to prefer to open it back this way, so I'll put the hinges on the right side. Now I think everything should be oriented properly, because remember the door is just kind of stuffed into its place there. It didn't really have any other option on where to go, but I can lift it up a smidge, which I will probably do. Okay, so hinges are pretty straightforward. I don't think I need to tell you about those. Right, put it between the opening. So far so good. Let's put the other one about the same distance from the top. Alright, what do you think? Should we do a test swing? Okay, so I'll hold the bottom door in place and so we got a little bit of work to do on the door. Just to loosen it up a little. Take a little bit off that, that's not a big deal. There we go. We'll probably get a little bit of a squeak in it on this side. I honestly don't even know where that squeaking is coming from. It might be these whisper quiet hinges actually. But we got the door closing perfectly. So let's hinge up the bottom door and we'll probably have to plane a little bit of that away as well. Alright, so it's time to put on these hinges. We're not going too crazy with measurements or anything for these. As long as they're on, they're good. Alright, next. So we're down around here. now we will test out the bottom door. This one is good. So same thing, once it comes out, this extra little bit of plywood gets in the way. That's no problem. There we go. Just like that. So what do you think about that, guys and gals? We have a working door, a little bit squeaky. I'm curious if it's just the hinges. I'm going to grab a little bit of WD-40 and we'll try that and see what happens. So this is just a hunch. I don't know if it's only the hinges. Haha. Now they're whisper quiet. Good stuff. Bit of false advertising, I think, on their part of saying that they're already whisper quiet. Now, I never read the instructions either. Maybe they say to lubricate them. I doubt it, though. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Alright, front door is pretty much done. Needs a bit of plexiglass put in for a window. That's for another time. Alright, as for now, we're just trying to hit away at the trim here. Overall, the door ended up really good. Equal spacing here, not so much equal spacing here, a little bit of difference. But we can live with that, okay? Now, I need to do these corners. So what I'm thinking is that I'm going to do the 3" on one side and have it stick out past the corner, and then the 2" butt up against it. So then by doing that, the 2" and the 3" will look almost the same on both sides, because you're taking 1" from one and kind of adding it to the other. Alright, so off camera I put a 27" angle on this 1x3, and I guesstimated the length that I'm going to need for it to come down to encompass a piece of trim on the side here as well. So this is probably a little bit longer than what the final measurement will be, but it's going on like this either way, okay? So on the other side here is where I'm going to have the 2" trim, and that should match up fairly well, okay? And I'll put that piece on first. So I'm going to have to put a 27° on the top of that as well. So I'll measure that and then cut it. Now that I got those cuts finished, first of all, I'll see if that fits here, which it does. So this piece of trim is going to come out to be in line with the edge. So a lot of this I'm just doing by eye, but I do have the option of using my square as well, which I may do to get things rolling. Okay. And then I'm going to take my square. Okay, that's that piece done. So now you'll see that this is out flush with this wall. So now this one will come in and join onto that. So you pretty much got a 1.5 plus another there. So this side in width looks the same as this one when they combine. Alright? And I think that looks pretty darn nice. So what I decided to do, so I'll carry on with this piece that I got cut, and I'll add on the length on the bottom. There we go, nice little corner done just like that. I'll just measure what it takes to get the rest of the way down, and we will do that. So I think that'll look nice to bring it right to the bottom. And that is 20 1/8. Yeah, I think that looks a lot better. Alright, the front is pretty much done as far as trim goes. I'll step back and let you have a quick look. So here she is. This is my thoughts come to life. And I must say it came out well. Alright. There whatever, partition door, whatever you want to call it. Did you guys ever look up what it's called? 'Cause I never. Closes like that. So I'm just going to get some plexiglass cut for in here. Do some little, some trim and something to retain the plexiglass in there. So we'll trim around that once we get the plexi cut. But otherwise, this is what it is. And I like it. I like it a lot. So, I think we did pretty much the most complex side first, which was kind of what I was aiming for when I got the most patience and in the most rush. Now I'm going to take a little break, sip on some water, and sit down, rest my back a little bit, and you guys won't even notice. So I'll be right back, and we'll get at this exit door over on the side. I think is the next item on the agenda. All right, be right back. I know I said we were going to do the chicken exit door next, but I kind of wanted to get this done first, just because it was pretty easy where I cut the last piece. There was already a 4-foot piece ready to go. So I just wanted to grab it and get it done. So we'll slather some glue on here. Okay, now the next piece. Okay, so that's that one done. Looks very nice, if I do say so myself. And now we'll do the chicken exit door. Once again, when doing these doors, I gotta remember this time, add on 3 inches, okay, for the over 1.5 inch on either side. So I got those cuts done. So now it's time to get it put on. So I figure the best way to do this is to start with the top and bottom again. And then join the sides in after. Okay, so now on the sides. We need a little bit of wood filler on the first one, but it had to be done. And I wasn't going to waste and trim over that little bit of space. So now I'll take my inside measurements again. Alright, and I'll cut some new ones now that'll fit in there. We'll put that on the door. And we'll have another one ready to be mounted with a set of hinges. Alright, so I'll be right back after I make those cuts. Here we are back at the chicken exit door. Now for this door, I got a little bit more space up on the top than I do at the bottom. So I'm going to use my measuring tape as a hook and kind of haul it up a bit, okay? And while it's up, I'm going to take this hinge box and stick it in there to hold it up there, okay? So that should give us pretty much equal spacing, top and bottom. And now with that done, I can go ahead and put in the inside pieces. Looks like I got one nail that I need to clip over there, and then we're ready for hinges. So I'll go clip that, get the hinges, and we'll be right back. So when it comes to this door now, I'm putting on the hinges. I've been trying to decide if I want it to be a side open door or a top down from above. And so what I finally decided is I want it to be a top down. And the reason for that is only if in the future, if I decide to put, say, a little eyelet on the bottom with a string on it, with a pulley up to the eave, I could use that from the outside to open this door and lower it again. That's the only purpose I could see in probably having a flip down door versus a flip open to the side. So just for that eventuality, I'm going to go ahead and make this a top down door. So one thing I'm doing with the hinges is just making sure that the screw is going into the middle of the hole so it's not hollowing the door around too much. I think the door shifted a little bit. So what I may need to do in this case is put a little shim behind the top hinge there. Okay, so after a bit of trial and error, what I'm discovering is just the weight of the back of this door wants to fall down, and it makes the door come out as a result. No matter how I've placed these hinges, even when they're free hanging as they can get, it just wants to come out because of the weight on the back of the door. So for that reason, it's not going to work as a pulley system because it will never close fully on its own. And just for the longevity of the door and ease of use, I am just going to make it a side swing door.